Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As I talked about title of today's video, we're here to showcase the power of the 6'6" two-way point guard in NBA 2K23. So, in today's video, it's going to be Kitchen lined up at the 3, ironically. I know it's a little bit odd. Our lineup is extremely weird. It's based on your pass accuracy as far as who lines up at the point versus the 2 because we're all point guards. But either way, we're playing against an extremely competitive lineup right here. As you can see, a lot of dudes in the GOAT status and stuff like that, shooting a real good percent from 3. They run a real organized pick and pop offense, extremely stage meta style. So, we're here to showcase in today's video how my boy Kitchen absolutely dominated this game and the power of his build too. The 6'6", it has 97 prim D. We'll go ahead and showcase the build at the end of the video as far as in the builder and bringing it to you guys as far as if you want to make it. But again, he's lined up at the 3. You're gonna see we're playing sides, everything on pick and roll D. I actually kind of get dotted right here. I ended up jumping, getting a nice little 15 right here. Zeke is also on a 6'8", sort of two-way type build as well. If you guys want, actually I might even showcase that too, because they're both very two-way builds. They're featured more into defense than they are finishing. They're both minimum finishing builds with like around 5 finishing badges because that's what you're forced up, and everything else is into shooting, playmaking, and defense. Whereas I am on the inside, and that's why it pairs well with those two builds, because again, most people who play this game are generally putting finishing on their guards. They're going to be coming out here and just rim run ISO and kind of like that. Whereas yes, I rim run myself, but it's more of like a 25 three-pointer deal. Whereas these guys right here with Kitchen and Zeke aren't planning to go to the hoop at all. That's kind of my job, my role, and we can feature that in with the pick and roll stuff a lot better. Right there, you can see Kitchen with a little bit of a scary pass. It is what it is. It happens to the best of us, no matter what the build. And again, these guys have a really good stage lineup out here as far as like the viability of a lockdown and a big. So I wanted to keep in mind, and you know, I was debating maybe cutting out the early parts of this game, but to be fair, that's what I wanted to showcase, is the whole game and showcase the power of the build. And yes, there will be struggles along with it. We actually start on a really bad start. You can see they kill me with a slip right there. I try and hedge up and help my boy Kitchen on the pick and roll. Unfortunately, I just get killed for it, and we're off to a really bad start. Like I said, right here we are fiending for a bucket, really working hard. Kitchen gets the big man to step out quite a bit. I get the alley-oop, but unfortunately get the layup. Thankfully, I make it, even though the big does come flying in there and gets his hands near it. Either way, here we are, back on defense. And this is where I want to really showcase Kitchen's build, because it really is crazy to be able to come out here with a build that can carry the load on the point guard position and still run the pick and roll PG spot and still play as the lockdown as well. It's a really rare role. He actually did it back in 2K20 as well on like a 6'4" two-way point guard, and it was probably the most fun I've ever had, where me and him were playing pick and roll offense and defense in Pro-Am, and then he was like playing as the ball defender and running point guard in Pro-Am too. And we had like a 3v3 Pro-Am team that was going crazy as well. Right here you can see nice defensive versatility. I jump out. Now here's where I'm going to say he is probably a little bit tired. I will also make a little bit of a note in terms of defense that you should take note of as well. People generally do not have their mid-range at an extremely high level. If you see a mid-range shot, let them shoot that. It's a very inefficient 2-point shot, not to mention not a lot of people upgrade it past 80-ish or 81 on their build. So generally, you can kind of let those fly and just play for the rebound a whole lot more than trying to contest it like I did right there, where I just jump at it. Right here, you can see Zeke gets the big man on him. I'm trying to have him ISO him, and I'm going to get him the ball back, but then they kind of get the switch back, and that's why you can see I was trying to stay away from him. So now is where we're going to have a little bit of difficulty, and we're late on the clock. You can see Kitchen with a nice, I tell you what, he's really figuring these SIGs out pretty good. You can see right here, really good but read by him as well, because he knows that because I had to get out of there and get out the way, the big man was going to step out and jump at him at the end of the shot clock right there to not let him get the 3 off. So very good, unselfish basketball right there from Kitch to be able to just dump it down to me, even though the clock was low. Right here, you're going to see this guard do this little snatch back, the stationary snatch back. Kitchen is a great point guard himself and understands point guard dribbling really, really well. It's part of being a lockdown, which I have to study a little bit more because I don't do the moves myself. So I'm more kind of trying to analyze and just like watch what they do rather than just know physically what they do. But as you can see, like I said, Kitchen really playing for those good bumps. He's able to not really just be pluck, steal, mate or anything like that. He's just playing for good bumps. And like I said, we're playing great pick and roll D. Right here, you're seeing I'm switching back early. I'm going to show pretty high and then return back to the paint. Play some great backside defense. I want to run this one back for you guys real quick, because this is something that I really take pride in. So again, you can see I'm showing sides right here. I'm stepping out to the right, and this is what we get. Now check this out. If they run it back, I am now expecting Kitchen, and hopefully in the future he'll be up higher on that, because this is no longer his guy. And I'm trying to explain to you guys who are watching this. If you see the point guard moving in this direction toward the big man, understand if you're this guy, this big wants to slip right down the middle. Understand, if you're this guy, you have to get up because your teammate, if he's going to play the proper defense, is going to be sealing off this backside right here and not giving up that slip. So as you're going to see, play great defense, patch that up. I'm going to be showing hedge instead of sides now, and I'm just baiting one side real hard. Boom, get back to the lane. 90 steal rating, 6'9", playing the big, and there we are. I mean, Kitchen playing great on-ball defense too. You can see, hits me on the pick and roll. We hit him with a little pump fake, and boom, there we are. We're on a really good run right here. Like I said, they started this game, I believe, 6-2, and now we've gone 8-0 run. Simple, just like that. And again, I have 10 points, keep in mind, where Kitchen hasn't even scored yet. And you've seen a lot of situations where we're just playing really take whatever the defense gives us. And, you know, they're trying to just go ahead and get the ISOs, get the pick and pops, get the slips when they have to, stuff like that. They're 3-hunting really hard. It's really what it is. But it's hard to 3-hunt with ISO this year. And this is why I say these builds that have this driving dunk, albeit you could see he will get Zeke with the driving dunk right here. It's the same exact thing as taking a slip with me. So if you can work with an inside big, these outside guards that have great defense on them are really, really good. You can see right here, I kind of just take it on my own, get an ugly crossover to go. It wasn't the most ideal thing, but either way, I get the crossover, get the dunk. I now have 12 of our 12 points, and you're probably wondering, well, where's Kitchen's points? They are coming, I promise you. Right here, I gotta tell you guys, he actually even called it too. Kitchen said he was gonna do this Asta slide. It's really what they call it in stage, pro-am, whatever. It's this little like move right here where you crab people, and he was trying to go for the bump steal on it, but he was just a little bit out of position. He did call it though, straight up, and literally said he's gonna do this, I'm gonna try and go for the steal. And now check this out, watch Kitchen just cook right here. So I see, as I'm bringing it up, they have this dude on me who's the lockdown, which is a bad move by them. They should absolutely be putting the green shirt big man on me, and as you're gonna see, I just get the ball to Kitchen straight up and get out the way because he got the big man on him with our positional advantage that we have. Absolutely just kills him with the misdirection and gets that 3 to go. That's a huge shot for us too. And again, the positional kind of manipulation that we have here. I'm lined up at the 2 as the big man. Kitchen is lined up at the 3 as the point guard, and Zeke is at the 1, kind of playing spot up for us. It's a weird role. It's a weird thing to explain and like comprehend between as far as what people do, obviously. But for us, it makes sense, and it's a really cool thing to do. Again, you can see he's gonna get that big man on him. He's gonna go ahead and just ISO up. Now, if he gets low on his stam or low on his ability to create the shot, I'm gonna come up and slip for him, but as you can see, he literally just gets the big on him and cooks him up like crazy. And it's such a cool situation to run in a lineup like this, where if they keep a small point guard on me, I can ISO him and rim run. If they make it a situation where I don't have a small defender on me, aka obviously the center on the other team, then Kitchen can cook up and like really just destroy the big man. Or same with Zeke. If Zeke gets the big man on him too, we can give him the ball and let him just go to work as well. So running 2 point guards and a point forward right here is a really cool thing. Not to mention, you're gonna see, it's not like I can't just take it either. I'll show you guys in a second here, but it's really cool to see like my build's capability. Like you're gonna see, boom, catch, run, go dunk on the corner, dude, boom, green. Like, it's so fun playing with 3 viable ball handlers, and you don't see a lot of people do this in the stage or anything like that. It's always in the stage going to be point guard, block, big. In most situations, the lock and the big don't have any ball handling. We have 3 dudes that can handle the ball right here. Again, you can see Kitchen with a great defense right here. I mean, he knows how these PGs are going to work. He sees this dude catch the ball. He's waiting for the defense to clear out. Then he's going to sprint one way, and he's not going to run the same way as the big man either. So big man's trying to run down the court. I'm just going to be running with him. Kitchen just goes for this blitz right here. Boom, bumps him on the left hand, and just like that, we get a steal. Close shot for the win. And Kitchen is over here destroying people. Now, I gotta say, I've been pretty satisfied with how they've both been playing, Zeke and Kitchen. Zeke didn't get much involvement right here. We've been running just whatever lineup is on, like whatever all 3 people have, and we've just been kind of working with it. Whether it's even like to run 2 bigs, whether it's to run 3 guards like we had right here, whether it's to run 1 big, 2 guards, it doesn't matter, really. I've been having a lot of fun with the game. Anything works, and this build right here, as you can see, Kitchen with 8, 6, and 2 as well, with pretty good efficiency as well. I mean, he was setting me up for, let's see, I had 7 out of 7 field goals, and really the only one that he didn't assist to me was the one where I just caught it and ran. And for that matter, that I might have actually been an assist even, so I don't know where the unassisted basket would have came from. But either way, Kitchen pretty much accounted for all our points. 8 points himself and the 6 assists, so it's pretty much 20 out of the 22 points he accounted for. And then still had 2 steals of playing great defense on the point guard, held him in check to 3 turnovers. I know 5 for 6 looks pretty good on the stat sheet, but they really got 0 3-pointers off, and again, 3 turnovers goes a long way. All right, so now here's the build that Kitchen was using. I will say, if you want to copy and paste the exact same thing he had, this will pretty much be it. I didn't copy all the attributes. I revised a couple things that I think might be better as far as thresholds to hit for extra badge points and stuff like that, but as you can see, he has it listed at point guard. Now, if you want to play the way that we did though, and you want to emulate the fact that he was at the 3 and he was able to take advantage of those bigs in those really easy situations, you maybe play with someone who has a build like mine, where I know it's a very niche thing, but for the people who follow the channel and maybe you made this Ben Simmons build that I have, the 6'9" point guard, if you want to emulate the exact same way that we played right there, you could low-key make this build at the shooting guard and you'll be lined up at a bigger position than my Ben Simmons build at every time. And I'm telling you, you can really exploit it in some situations if you do a good job at doing so. Anyway, like I said, position is going to be up to you as far as how you want to manipulate things. If you want to just be the point guard, if you actually want, I mean, if you're at the PG too and you plan to play like that two-way role, then you could actually just get arrows sometimes if you're lined up at point guard, and you're able to get like a way better set of defense. As far as like, arrows are extremely convenient to have for playing D. And to be honest with you guys, me experiencing it myself with that 6'9" Ben Simmons build at the 1, it is so convenient playing lockdown defense when I have arrows. It's so much better than the stage style where the locks are at the 2 and you have to like switch the arrows. It's really annoying and inconvenient to have to do stuff like that. But anyway, as you see, 6'6", 186, 7'1" wingspan. Kitchen actually has a 180 weight, but I saw you don't lose anything, and I saw all you did was gain as far as like caps on strength, caps on block into your D. I know it doesn't look like it matters, but it actually makes these things cheaper toward your build if you're not upgrading to the maximum. So it is convenient to not have to deal with stuff like that. But anyway, as you can see, the build is very limited when it comes to finishing. You only have 70 driving layup, 5 finishing badges. Pretty much you're just going to run gold pro touch and then probably giant slayer after that, or maybe acrobat for all I know. But either way, I mean, that's pretty much all you got right there. As far as shooting goes, it's still a little bit limited even with that. 74 mid-range, 89 three-pointer. You can see this 3-point cap right here is huge though. You get Agent 3 and Blinders on gold instead of silver. And then obviously, as you can see, corner specialist, debatably, I don't think you'll need this at a super high level, but if you plan to play as like a spot up lockdown, sometimes with it actually could be pretty serviceable. Now, if you want to make a little bit of revision even on top of that, I will say I think steel is better than prim D. I think like it's more overpowered to have strength than it is to have perimeter defense. Now, as you can see, Kitchen is lacking in his speed a little bit with this build. This is where he is holding LT for the most part a lot on this build playing defense, and that's where the perimeter defense overrides speed, and the only thing you need speed for in this game is off-ball movement and defense. It doesn't have anything to do with your ball handling speed. That's literally obviously a whole different category right here with speed with ball. It's also not even maxed either. So just keep in mind, I'm just showcasing you guys what the build looked like. He has really good pass accuracy on this with 85 as well. If you want to down this to 75 or something like that, just because you plan to play park with it and you don't think you need that zip on the ball or anything like that, it could still go a long way on your build as well. 90 ball handle gives you some pretty good sigs. Now, here's the thing that he said that he loved about the 6'6". It gives him faster jump shots than you can at 6'8", 6'9", the demigod stuff everybody's on, and it goes a long way, and I do see it as well. I definitely understand. You don't get all of the animations as far as dribbling goes. There are also some like dribble pull-ups and like spin jumpers and stuff like that. Like I know the Allen Iverson one for the spin jumpers is like height capped to 6'5" and below, I believe, and you can't get it on this build. I know some of y'all are just like, spin jumper, who absolutely cares? Like I don't care, but I'm telling you, it's really cool and it actually works, and it's pretty comp. I'll have it in a gameplay coming up too, I promise you that. But anyway, as far as defense goes, like I said, you could go 97 prim D, 86 steal if you would like. 72 block gives you that extra badge point. I don't think you should be fiending for like gold chase down artist, but if you want, Kitchen's build actually gets 75 block that gets gold chase down. I don't believe it's necessary. I don't think you're going to be like fiending super hard for chase downs on this build. It's very minimal as far as interior D and rebound go. I will also tell you this much. Personally, I'd be a huge fan of this build having 70-ish defensive rebound, because if you do run that maneuver that we're doing, where if you're someone that wants to make this at shooting guard, I would advise you very heavily to go with like 70-something D-board, because you're going to be stuck on those bigs sometimes, and maybe your teammates aren't smart enough or quick enough in the brain to really get those switches off, or even attention span. Sometimes if you're just playing arrows, like it could get really ugly out there if you only have 52 D-board and you end up at the big man sometimes. But again, the general public who's watching this, you guys don't care about that. You're just going to line up at the point guard, play with a lockdown at the 2, and maybe a big man at the 3, simple as that. So I know it's a pretty niche thing to play the way that we did there. And unfortunately, that perimeter defense is so hard to get, because as you can see, like at 97 prim D, not only do you get Challenger at the 95, but you also get clamps at 97, pick dodger right here at 94. It goes a long way. Perimeter D is extremely important with these badges. So That's why it's a little bit harder to get the steal up to a super high level, because you need to have that 97 if you want to be an elite on-ball lockdown defender as far as these badges go. I think 90 is really good with those passing lanes, but to be fair, you probably don't need it at a super high rate. You can see you can still get silver glove right here with 86 and get that extra badge cap too. So I think this is a pretty good loadout right here. I think he did a really good job at making this build. Again, I think it is lacking a little bit on the interior D and defensive rebound. It would be a really nice versatile build, but it's already extremely versatile. It can still run point guard, and it can still guard on-ball like point guards who are looking to 3-hunt pretty heavily. You could still hold your own, debatably, when it comes to like guarding the rim runners and stuff like that too. I think you just have to utilize your clamps ability more than you would your interior defense. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to showcase to you guys the build, showcase to you the gameplay. I mean, as you can see, the gameplay speaks for itself too. As far as the takeovers, it's up to you, obviously, but I think running a sharp take primary and then lock take secondary is a really good idea. Depends on your role, though. If you want to go ahead and flip that and just run extreme clamps in primary, then you can definitely go ahead and do that. As far as my impression on what the best takeovers are so far, I think definitely extreme clamps is the best one you could run as a lockdown. To get those extra bumps and cutoffs is really nice in this game full of rim running, and also, you could maybe make the case for perimeter badge drop if you're a pluck steal spammer, but personally with this build, I think you're going to be doing a whole lot more real defense. You're not going to be spamming steals. You can still get the pluck steals. Don't get me wrong. 86 steal with silver glove is still plenty doable, but I definitely don't think the unpluckable dropping is that important to the point where, like, I would say perimeter badge drop is better than extreme clamps. I think extreme clamps is definitely the best one so far. Limitless range, probably the best sharp takeover, just as far as like if you're gonna be running with pick and rollers. But if you're not running pick and roll very often, you're probably just rim running. I guess really you could just run primary lock take, and if you want to just double up on lock take, I guess you can go for that too. But either way, it's up to you. I would definitely go with a sharp and lock the way that we play, but it could change depending on what everybody does. This build, I'll just go ahead and back out and show you the build title instead of like finishing it. It's two-way 3-point shot creator. So I know a lot of people be asking for stuff like that, and I don't really care about build titles, but some people do, so I just figured I'd showcase it in the video. But anyway, that is all for the vid. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, for to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties. All good stuff. Like always, try to one to 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the vid, put kitchen in the comments. Show support you made it all the way through to the end of the video. But anyway, other than that, hope y'all enjoyed, and we'll definitely keep you posted with more gameplay with this build, with any of the builds, really. I have some really cool ones to show you too. We got this like 7-foot outside stretch big that I want to showcase to you guys too. Stretch 5, my boy SK made. I had some great gameplay that he had on this, but man, I forgot to record it. I'm telling y'all, I really wish that I got that one through. But anyway, other than that, hope y'all enjoyed, and take it easy, man. Peace.